be seated to listen to Edwin Roman. Edwin will share with us his faith experience about his recovery from addiction and the ungodly lifestyle that came with it.
Sorry. Good evening. I'm Edwin. I'm a recovering alcoholic and a recovering drug addict. I was asked to share my experience of recovery because Santuario de Santoña is a very significant part of the recovery process, my recovery process. So going back a little bit, I have a typical childhood. When I say typical childhood, living in this area is a typical spoiled brat. That's an actual understatement. No? And then I was introduced to religion, to God, right? And I'm not ashamed, a lot of them were imposed. Diba? My mom would wake me up at 6 in the morning to make sure I go to church at first mass. So ang sabi ko sa nanay ko, bakit? Mas nakikinig ba ang Diyos sa umaga kaysa sa gabi? Diba? But that was how it was. That's how they were raised. So I guess they raised me in the same way they were. Sorry namamatay po yung notes ko. So it felt like a chore. I need to go to Mass every Sunday, I need to do this, I need to do that. Also, at the time, the message was God was judgmental and God was punishing. You better be good, God will get mad at you, will go to hell. So at a very young and tender age, I thought God was always judging me. I have to live up to a certain decorum, for lack of a better term. So, just to say, it taught me how to tiptoe around God. Tiptoeing, don't do this, don't do that. And we lived in an area wherein there were mga madres, the old Merinol in La Vista. So every afternoon, I would run, they would walk around the street and I would run after them and say, Mother, I need to be good I need to see you. Araw-araw po ginagawa ko yun. Eventually, ano tawag dito? There was a lot of shame, fear, and low self-esteem growing up. Shame because I was always on the heavy side. Mataba po ako. So lahat po ng tao, mataba pa rin naman ako ngayon, pero mas mataba ako dati. So lahat ng tawag sa matabang tao, natawag sa akin. Diba? And to cover up this shame, I eventually found alcohol. You know, it's funny, the first alcohol I tasted was Mompo. Nakuha ko sa mga pare, sa eskwelahan namin. Hindi ko na po babanggitin yung eskwela. No? I also want to start by saying alcohol and drugs is not the problem. Okay? The problem po is addiction. It's everything. Ba? I also want to say, based on my experience, it's harder to help an alcoholic as opposed to a drug addict. Now, why is that important for me to say? Kasi when they say, drug addict, oh my God, he's a drug addict, blah, 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 salot ng lipunan. 35 years na po akong helping professional So I know that it's harder for an alcoholic to recover, unang-una, because it's glorified by society, right? And there's nothing wrong. It's just a little beer or a little wine. I recently spoke to someone, it's just wine. And the way I explained it is the human brain cannot decipher kung sa 4 kantos galing yung alak na yan or sa wine. It's one and the same. It's alcohol, period. Now, not everyone who drinks is an alcoholic. Okay? To become an alcoholic, one needs to continue drinking despite negative consequences. You're making bad business decisions, you don't come home, you hit your wife or something like that, and continue drinking. That's the sign. But moving on with my story, the first time I tried alcohol, Mompo nga, I didn't like the taste. But you know what? The next week, I found Mompo again. Why? Not because of the taste. I liked the way it made me feel. See? That's when the mood altering started. Very early. I think I was in grade 6 at the time. In one of those class nights, supposed to be religious experiences in the school. No? Fast forward, I became entrapped with a series of mood alterations, which is alcohol initially, then it became drugs, and became other things, other fixes. It became my anesthesia of choice. Everyone has gone to a heartbreak, right? Nag-break ng boyfriend, nag-break ng girlfriend. You'll have a beer or two just to soften off the corners, and that's fine. And then go back to the normal, that's fine. But a person like me, an alcoholic, will continue, and continue to find reasons to celebrate, to drink. Birthday ng aso ng kapitbahay namin. Kailangan kong uminom. Lagi na lang akong may rason. So that's really a problem already. Eventually, after 18 years of drug and alcohol use, I hit a bottom. What's a bottom? Physical bottom, nagkakasakit ako. Moral bottom, I would find myself doing things I normally wouldn't. For example, like lying. But I normally wouldn't do that, or padding bills, or something like that. And then the worst was the spiritual bottom. Wala na akong relasyon sa Diyos na maayos. Okay? I call it, that's my band-aid spirituality. Do you guys know what band-aid spirituality is? The way I understand it, as I will call God when I'm in a bad place. God help me. I promise I will never drink again or never do drugs again. The few times I found myself in a cell in jail, I promise not only to God, to all the saints, I will never use drugs again. Lo and behold, within the next 24 hours after getting out of jail, I'm there, using again. That's the insanity. Paulit-ulit na lang po. And so there was, when I found the recovery program, the 12 steps, the Alcoholics Anonymous program, they said, you're powerless over alcohol. I have no problem admitting that. And my life is unmanageable, magulo, no problem admitting that. The second step says, we came to believe that a power greater than ourselves could restore us to sanity. I had a lot of problems with that because it started to tell me I need to identify with God. And at that time, to be very honest, I really thought God had forsaken me. Why will I look for Him today? So, over time, you trust, you build a relationship with God that is yours, not the one imposed by your parents or the school you went to. To me, that made a lot of sense. After that, I went into a treatment facility. They said, eventually we'll take you to an Narcotics Anonymous meeting. That was 1992. And guess where it was? Right there. Brand new pa yata yung parish, yung community center at that time, di ba? Sabi ko, hindi siguro kulto ito kasi tunay na simbahan yung pinupuntahan natin, di ba? But I was so paranoid. But I didn't really wanna, accept that there was still God in my life. So recovery, unang-una, not drinking, not using drugs, gave me a chance to have a change in perspective. Dahan-dahan, it slowly changed the way I related to God, how I saw God. Of course, this was a process. It's not something I wake up the next morning is, oh my God, salamat po. It's never is like that, right? On the sixth step, I went to a novitiate in Novaliches. Okay, and I said, there was a priest there. I said, Father, I'm so full of shame, so full of guilt, ang dami kong ginawa, some of them criminal, and I'm here, I'm working on the recovery program. And he said, I'm such a bad person. Help me. And he said, listen, let me get this. You're here because you have so much guilt and so much shame, and you are here to try and find God. I said, yeah, basically that's what I'm trying to do. And he said, so tell me, how can a process that's leading you to a God, to your God, can be a bad thing? Oo nga, di ba? It started my journey back to the God, a God. At that time, it was still just a God, right? Recovery is not about abstinence. Recovery is about changing the way I live. It's about having a relationship, a caring and nurturing relationship with a God I'm comfortable with, right? But being raised Catholic, eventually, I said I want to go back to the God I was raised in. So, my effort, I think the Diocese of Manila has a program called San Lakbay, and I have heavily got involved in that, not with their teachings, but with their support group, helping other addicts wanting to stay clean. Kasi nga hindi naman pwedeng staying clean and then what, right? I also got involved with another diocese, the Diocese of Pasig, right? In setting up support systems for addicts. Down the road, eventually, I found a caring. You know how I got to working with the Diocese of Pasig? All of a sudden, I had so much time because of a motorcycle accident. Wala akong magawa. I said, I'm going to help the church. I said, that's really just God finding a way for me to... Because prior to that, I was living the high life, di ba? As a matter of fact, we were training to do motorcycle, to go to Morocco. Can you imagine that? Pupunta kami sa Morocco para ang kapal naman ng mukha namin. Diba? But that accident happened so I would have time to help, to introduce this program of recovery to the less fortunate. Diba? And we're still at it. We're still doing it today. So, that's how does God manifest in life today? By sharing, by giving back. Obviously, I lived to my age of 64 today because there's something that I can be of service to, which is another addict who wants to stop, right? All addicts are liars, right? Yes, I'm a liar. We're all liars. So, who is the best person to help a liar? Diba a liar then? Diba? Parang, you can't expect me to buy your story. That's the same story I told you, right? So now, moving forward, for every drug addict, imagine, or every alcoholic, there's at least 3 or 4 people directly affected. That's wives, children, society in general. And these people are hurting and they need support. That's where we're putting our efforts on today. Okay? Salamat po. I hope I did not pass the 5 minutes. Huh? Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Thank you. Thank you, Roman. Thank you very much.